Mr. Chris, if you want to step up and give us some information, and the staff will tell us where to stop before we speak too much. The Department, the DEP has placed in the paper a notice of intent to issue permit for Sabal Trail pipeline. And at this time, it was posted in the Jasper Legals. Mr. Miracle called me. Said, Chris, can you kind of fill us in what you're looking for? Or what?
Well, I just brought it to your attention because, well, I know that there's been some opposition to it, not just by me, but a lot of people here in the county and elsewhere. And I've read the permit and some of the supporting documentation, and it just doesn't jive. And I thought that maybe this county, since they've taken a stance on this issue before, they might want to proceed with intervening on this. You can apply for a special hearing to voice your concerns or opposition, whatever. If you don't know about it, you know you can't do anything about it. Some of the things that are concerning me about this, get to it right there.
Ms. Murray, I think the only thing that we can do is allow the county staff to review it, place it on the agenda, and then allow them to review the permit. Because I mean, this, as you can see, it's a lengthy.
It's lengthy, yes.
And I wouldn't ask them to try to read it, interpret it, and then give us an answer on what, or a recommendation on what we should do in a matter of 5 minutes. I think.
Well, there's they allow 14 days from date of publication, which was last Thursday, to respond. And you can file for an extension, which that may, if you want to review it and carry this forward, that may be what you might need to do. So you have time to discuss it.
You have to request an extension if you're going to wait till your next meeting.
That's what my recommendation would be, was if the board wanted to file an extension, then we can take it up with our legal advisor's recommendation at the next board meeting. But we'd have to file an extension relatively quick, probably sometime this week.
Right.
I need some board input. I need some input from the board on this, because I don't want to be the only one that says to file an extension and put the work on the attorney staff if that's not the direction the board wants to go. I need some sort of input on this matter.
They don't give you much time to do these things.
So it's okay to discuss this now? I mean,
yeah, I mean, this is the first time I've seen it.
I flipped to page 2 and you come down to the 6th line. Is that basically what we're talking about?
I'll declare this an emergency because it's only 14 days before. I mean, that's probably the only emergency we got in this situation, is you got 14 days to either file a bill or an extension. I mean, because we don't meet again before the 14-day timeline is up.
So are we looking at a person whose substantial interest or affected by petition for an administrative proceeding, and then at some point down there it says the 14 days, coming on down, must be filed within 14 days of publication?
Yeah, it's on the second page.
Yeah, that's, if you come on down and it says that. Petitions must be filed within 14 days.
You know, we may be jumping into a long and costly proceeding here. Just looking at this, I mean, there are a lot of things that they're asking for, and just if you ask for an extension, I don't know if you're necessarily going to get one. And then if you're asking for an extension, then you've got to go in and have your reasons why you're objecting to this petition and all that kind of stuff. And I just don't know if that's something the county wants to do. first thing I would do would be to ask our environmental counsel, Scott Shirley, that does the PCS permitting and stuff, if he's familiar with these proceedings and, you know, what's involved in them and that type of thing. And, but I don't know what I don't think we can just go in there and say, the county said we're against the Sabal Trail pipeline, we don't want to go through these environmentally sensitive areas, therefore we're objecting. I think there's a lot more to it than that.
And there is quite a bit to it.
Yeah.
They're asking for a lot.
Yeah.
They don't make it easy.
I agree with Mr. Adams. We've already been through the hearing processes and everything where they've had the public hearings for public input, where any questions on that. I think it's kind of myself a little bit late in the game to start filing for an administrative.
Well, we intervened on the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission
Yeah,
permitting process, and we're in there, and we're gonna be notified and stuff. This is the Florida DEP
State level.
here, and the question is, you know, what good is it gonna do, and how much is it gonna cost for us to go in there and fight this permitting thing? And I can't tell you that.
So what's
I couldn't tell you that either. I mean, I know.
The county has already, you know, y'all have already passed a resolution and sent a letter out and everything objecting to this. And so the county's position is pretty clear. But if you want, I mean, I don't know, if you want to take it on yourselves to fight the DEP permitting process, then I'm not sure, you need to know what you're undertaking before you do that. And the way to find that out would be to call our environmental guy that's familiar with this stuff, and he can let us know what's involved.
On this, on another side, I'm not ready to do it. I'm certainly not without Mr. Shirley's opinion.
Can we move ahead with getting Mr. Shirley's opinion? Can we agree on that?
We can agree on it, but I'm not certain I want to take up the legal battle, that even if Mr. Shirley said, well, you may win, you may whatever, still it's going to come right back to this board, whether you're willing to go to an administrative hearing and fight the DEP or not, and what it's going to cost the county.
And I think that's what they count on too.
Which-
It's so involved, so expensive, that it makes it very difficult.
Well, there may be other people that are objecting to this. I mean, I don't know if the Sierra Club or whoever. There may be some people who've already filed their objections to it and are already.
There are some groups that are looking at it, but they're in the same boat. You know, it's a costly battle, and you know, I don't know how these other organizations will fare. But I just thought I'd like to bring it to your attention that it is happening at least, so that you can make a decision on it.
Well, and I will just mention a quick comment. In my district, I know a sale of some property in a residence that was right ready to go through with BOCC, and the people did a little bit of research on this pipeline and they pulled out. We lost a sale of somebody moving into the county, and that may be the first one I've heard of, but it certainly may not be the last, where people change their minds about putting money in an area where a pipeline like this is coming right through.
Yeah, I think that gentleman called me and asked me about that pipeline. He told me he was backing out in this county because of it.
So at this time, I guess what I'm hearing from the board is there's no support to enter into an extension or file paperwork on behalf of this for the request by the DEP, or actually Sabal Trail is the one that's requested for the DEP.
Well, thank you for your consideration.
Is that correct? Is that what we're hearing from the board?
That's just my thoughts.
Mr. Brown?
Yeah, I think that would go out and keep from being first.
Mr. Roberts?
Mr. Chairman, I think we at least should write them a letter or do something to let them know our feelings.
We have.
I don't know the legal part of it or anything, but
We actually passed a resolution, and then
I think
we attached letters from Elizabeth Porter's office, Senator Monford's office.
I think if we don't do something, we're backing off of our original negative part of them putting it out there. I don't want them to think that we don't care whether they put it out there or not, because we certainly do. Majority of the people, and myself, I know. So, you know, do whatever. We went this far, I don't know why we can't try to put a little more fire on the fuel, you know?
Mr. Adams, do you think of a letter of,
Well, the alternatives I see right now are, this is not an item that was on the agenda, so you have to declare an emergency and then decide what it is you want to do and why you need to do it right now. And I don't know that we've even got enough information to do that, other than just generally being opposed to the DEP permitting this thing.
Well, as Board of Commissioners, I mean, you do speak for people of this county to voice their opinions to you. That's the way I see it.
is it something that the board would want to put on the agenda for the next meeting to say if we want to draft a letter to send to the DEP in reference to the permit? And attach the resolution that we've already sent?
Yeah, what were we saying about the deadline?
You know?
It really gives you a feeling of such helplessness, because you look at it and you look at the deadline and you look at DEP and you look at all of the other agencies that you're getting notices from, and you know you don't have the resources to jump into something on a large scale and long term.
Well, I'm not familiar with the DEP permitting process, so I don't know what they've been through already or what kind of hearings they've had or any of that. I assume there was some stuff done that resulted in this. I don't think they just had a secret, we got government in the sunshine. I don't think they just had a secret meeting and said, okay, we're going to issue a permit, we're going to put it in the newspaper.
Normally, Mr. Adams, they have 30 to 60-day comment periods, and in that notice in the paper, they'll tell you that their intent to permit is in so many days, and if there's a comment period that you would like to.
That's what I'm saying, I think we're getting in on the tail end of
Yes,
this
the
thing
comment
now.
period is already passed.
Yeah.
It's no different in the intent to permit or with PCS or anybody else out there, you know.
So the point for county input was already over. It's kind of like a public hearing. The public hearing's already been closed, and they've already voted, and this is just a legality on the permit.
That's what it looks like to me.
They obviously didn't notify you and ask your opinion.
That's my comment. Can't we reject it because they haven't given us they have not given us the information that we so much need within the process through our county? We have no information whatsoever from those people. Aren't they supposed to notify you when these permits is issued or anything? We give them parts of permit, don't we?
It may have been promised. It probably, and I'll be honest with you, had Mr. Miracle not brought this to my attention, I would have never seen it in the draft news. And I looked at it. It's stated black and white in the news. And I guess we'll go from there to find out The only action that the board has, I mean, we don't have any action today, but the only thing we can do is to find out whether or not they did post it for public, review or comment. And then if there's something to that, I mean, I'm assuming that's the only avenue that the county has.
Coming from the DEP, I'd almost be willing to guarantee if there was a comment period posted in the Jasper News, and if we slept our rights, then that's us, it's not them. But they would not issue this intent to permit unless they had went through the proper.
Mr. Miller?
Well, it kind of seems like, you know, an issue this big, they would notify y'all at least for a comment period or the intent to issue a permit.
But it's no different than all the stuff that happens at PCS. They don't call us, Mr. Chris. We have to, we're involved, but we have to watch that paper for the same things. Yeah. You know, wastewater, industrial permits and all. We just went through that intent to permit it. Probably most of the public didn't even see it in the paper. The same process has just been done for that wastewater permit for PCS.
I think the comment period with regard to FERC occurred earlier this year, or the latter part of last year. And I think, if I understand from what went on then, this is subservient to the federal regulations which FERC has already handled. I'll have to check on it and make sure, but there was a 60-day comment period, the latter part of 2014, in which FERC entertained, and we were copied on that for comments at that point in time.
And that's when we sent in our letter and supported the resolution.
And part of that process is resulting in some of the rerouting that was done on that portion of the county out there. So my take on it, and I'm not a very good source of legal advice, but I think it's been through the process already on the federal level, and this is the state part taking place after the federal had already been decided.
If you will you research that tomorrow?
I will.
Get
I'll look
Chris
at
and I
that stuff for you.
to make sure that those things have been done in proper order. Ms. Chris, I guess we just have to kind of wait and see what.
Thank you for your time and interest.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I'll be in touch with you tomorrow once Mr. Goody gets in touch with us. Mr. Alvin, comments on the correspondence and announcements?